"Bring in the defendant," the sheriff's deputy barked, voice echoing through the hushed courtroom. As two guards hauled a bedraggled man in tattered layers and heavy chains to the center, the cold metal cuffs clinked like a death sentence. "Sit him there," the deputy ordered, shoving the homeless figure onto the witness stand. Gasps rippled among the onlookers. This was no hardened criminal, but a gaunt veteran with haunted eyes. The judge banged her gavel. "Mr. Peterson, you stand accused of trespass and petty theft. How do you plead?" Silence fell, broken only by the soft creak of leather as Peterson raised a trembling hand. "Before we move further into this story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. Let's dive in." The prosecutor's lips curled in contempt. "Your Honor, this man is a drifter. No fixed address, no employment, no family," he sneered, slapping a folder onto the bench. "He broke into that vacant lot storage shed for shelter and supplies. He's a danger to every law-abiding citizen." Murmurs of agreement fluttered through the courtroom gallery. Jurors exchanged glances, drooping behind their desks. In Peterson's eyes blazed a storm of humiliation. He'd served his country, and now he was treated like a common vagrant, stripped of dignity. A woman pressed her hand to her chest in perceived disgust as the bailiff produced grainy surveillance photos. Peterson rummaging through boxes, grabbing old blankets and canned goods. "What kind of monster steals to survive?" a spectator whispered. A judge's clerk discreetly shook her head, embarrassed by the question. The public gallery buzzed with judgment. Peterson's frail shoulders slumped, coat sleeves hanging past his wrists. His military dog tags lay exposed, swinging against the wood floor, almost mocked by their worn inscription, "John W. Peterson, U.S. Army, Vietnam, 1970. As the courtroom's gaze bore into him, Peterson swallowed hard, lips cracking. He imagined the roaring jungles he'd once navigated, rifle at the ready, trusting nothing but his training. And now he couldn't even trust a locked shed. The judge studied him through rimmed glasses, pen hovering above paperwork. "Mr. Peterson," she said, voice cool, "it is my duty to uphold the law." Peterson's heart pounded. He'd been a hero. Now he was judged at the mercy of a bench that didn't know his name. "Before I proceed," the judge continued, thumbing through the folder, "I see something here. What is this?" She held up a weathered envelope. The prosecutor blinked in confusion. "Your Honor," she prompted. The envelope bore Peterson's scrawled handwriting and a postmark from 50 years ago. She opened it, revealing a faded medal and a certificate. "United States Army Commendation with Valor. John W. Peterson, awarded January 15, 1971. A stunned hush rippled through the room. The prosecutor paled. Jurors straightened in their chairs. Peterson's breath hitched. The judge rose from her bench, gown whispering against the oak. "All rise," she commanded. Guards and attendees stood in unison. The man in chains looked up, startled. This was no routine courtesy. The judge stepped forward, eyes glistening with respect. "Mr. Peterson, for your gallantry under fire, for saving your platoon despite grave injury, I hereby vacate the charges against you. You are free to go." A single tear traced a path down Peterson's weathered cheek as the deputies unloosed his shackles. The courtroom erupted. Gasps, cheers, even applause echoed off the high ceilings. Spectators who had turned away moments before now wiped their own eyes. The judge retrieved the medal and pinned it to his battered coat. The metal's gleam caught the light as she saluted. "On behalf of the United States and this court, thank you for your service." Peterson, unsteady on his feet, managed a weary salute in return. His eyes flicked to the gallery, where jurors and strangers alike nodded in solemn acknowledgement. The bailiff opened the doors. A beam of afternoon sun spilled in, illuminating his gaunt frame. Outside, a small group of homeless veterans had gathered, drawn by the commotion. They watched in awe as Peterson, tears in his eyes, stepped into the light, not as a defendant, but as the hero he'd always been. In that moment, the weight of chains was sloughed from his shoulders, replaced by the unspoken promise of a second chance. The judge's simple act of honor had shattered society's preconceptions of homelessness, reminding every witness that valor transcends poverty and that sacrifice need not be forgotten to be forgiven. Morale, true justice, recognizes the debts we owe to our unsung heroes, rising above prejudice to honor courage wherever it is found. Applause to the leaders who remember our veterans' sacrifices and to the communities that welcome them home. If this story warmed your heart, subscribe, tap that like button, and sprinkle a karma in the comments.